It's mad because there's a lot of guys, yeah, who are making money but are still broke because they live in paycheck to paycheck. And when I say paycheck to paycheck, some people equate that, especially in this social media hype world, yeah. People talk about, you're living paycheck to paycheck in your job, but da, 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 da. The reality of it is paycheck to paycheck isn't about whether you have a job or whether you have a business. It's about what are you doing with your money? Because look, you may know someone who they make a decent amount of money, but it always seems like they're struggling. Maybe they make more than you, but they're asking you for money on a consistent basis. And it's like, if that's the situation, how does it make sense? Because I've experienced situations similar, right? Like I've seen people talking about how much money they got and this and that. And I'm like, hold on. I swear this guy owes me a little bit of money. I swear. And the thing is, it's like, that wasn't even a lot of money, you know? And it was such an insignificant amount of money that it's like, I didn't even remember necessarily that I'd given it to him. But then when I'm seeing him say these things, I'm like, hold on. I swear you owe me money though. And I swear you still haven't paid me that money. Then it's like, interesting. So you're making all of this money, but you're not good with managing your money. That's why you need to borrow money on a consistent basis. Like, you might be in a sticky situation. Hear it. You might need to borrow money on a consistent basis because you're not managing your money correctly. You're not managing your money well. And as a man, as a gentleman, I believe it's important. I believe it's important that we are managing our money properly. Because it's not just about, when it comes down to getting wealthy, when it comes down to mastering our finances, which is one of the 6 F's that we speak about on this channel, it's not just about how much money you're making, it's about how you're managing the money that comes in. Because if you're making 100K per month, but you're spending most of that every single month, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. Paycheck to paycheck means that your living expenses, everything that you're spending your money on, even beyond expenses, in a month, beyond living expenses, in a month, right? That only just about covers your wage, which means that typically the time just before you get paid, you're at your brokest. And you're like, whoa, like, it's a bit tight right now. I need this payday to come quickly so that I can buy this food. Like, if you're in that situation, you need to work on either A, managing your money better, or B, making more money. But if you're already making a decent amount of money and your base level living expenses aren't on a crazy level, when I say that, I mean, let's say you got to pay for gas, electricity, this and that, rent, whatever. If you're still spending like much more above that, you need to really look at how you're managing your finances. You see of people that are making millions of dollars, millions of pounds, that they lose it. And it's like, you had like $100 million, bro. And you might be hearing an example like that and you're like, oh, that's dumb. That would never happen to me. But then when you look at how you manage your money, bro, it's not hitting. How you're managing your money now, it's a lot of the times going to determine how you would manage it if you were just given $100 million right now. Me personally, one thing that I've really worked on that has helped me so much over the past few years is categorizing my money. So I have different percentages. I have like, okay, cool, I'm going to put this percentage to this thing. I'm going to put this percentage to this thing, etc. So when I get money that comes in, I move it in percentages, right? So I put, okay, I'm going to put 10% to this. I'm going to put 10% to that, etc. And that helps me balance it. But I also have sections where it's like, cool, I'm going to put this amount to savings. I'm going to put this amount to investing. And I'm also aiming not to spend that full amount. Now, one of the things that I'm personally working on right now is building up an expense base, an expense savings of 6 to 12 months, right? So I want to have the money in my account there on a separate allocated section specifically for this. that is 6 to 12 months of my expenses. I personally believe that if you don't have 6 to 12 months of expenses as a gentleman, you're broke. Doesn't matter how much money you're making, you're broke. Yeah, because that means that one paycheck, let's say you're paying rent or this and that, one paycheck can get you kicked out. Like one paycheck missing can get you kicked out of where you live. Or one paycheck missing can get your credit bad. Because maybe it's not necessarily being kicked out, but you got these direct debits that you need to cover and you can't cover it. Or now you need to go ahead and borrow money from someone. Right? You don't need to be doing that. Yeah, listen, man, you don't need to be doing that for the most part. Yeah, you don't want that to be your standard. You want your standard to be, and this is what I want my standard to be: 6 to 12 months of expenses minimum, stacked up, just there. That's like the bare minimum, the absolute bare minimum. And then obviously there's further levels to that. But I would encourage you as a starting point from this video, yeah, go ahead and make the decision that you're going to stack up 6 to 12 months of expenses and really save aggressively until you get there. And then once you're there, cool, now you can reassess and look at the other percentages and this and that. Maybe we'll speak more about the specific percentages that I like to follow. Maybe percentage examples that you can use as well. If you want that in a future video or whatever, do let me know. But in the meantime though, focus on building those 6 to 12 months expenses. That's what I'm focused on right now. That's what I'm learning. That's what I've been learning. And that's what I encourage you to learn as well. Now, if you want to learn about how I flipped a situation where my car could have got stolen into a positive, go ahead and watch this video. Trust me when I say applying that knowledge in that video is going to help you in all areas of your life. With that being said, I'll catch you in the next video. It's been Learning with Lamar. Peace out. Have an amazing day.